Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
Oh, wait.
Lone Stars.
We're Lone Starring
My
it.
Lone Stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special day for Drinkin Bros podcast.
Long awaited.
Long awaited. Rob O'Neill is here. You were the most requested guest we've had.
That is
in
very cool. Thank you.
3
I didn't know
years.
that.
Dead serious. 3 years. All they've asked is for you to come on the show. We said we would make it happen somehow, some way, and you are here today.
I was kind of waiting around until you guys got more followers.
I don't know if you guys know.
We've been
You're not
huge
big
for a
enough.
while. We've been huge for a while.
I know. I appreciate it. Seriously, it's great to be down here.
Yeah.
And we should all thank Ross for his service. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Oh,
If we
you're
could
welcome.
have a quick moment of silence for Ross's service in the food industry.
I think
in Los
out of the
Angeles.
four of us, we know who the real hero is here.
What is did Dakota Meyer show up?
Yeah, exactly. I took out my chef at Olive Garden once, just pushed him out of the back door, made it myself, made the chicken parm myself. No, Rob, seriously, it is an absolute honor and a pleasure to have you
Great
here.
to be here with all you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Hell yeah.
We're going to drink whiskey, have fun, and do butt stuff.
And
Yeah.
I'm already up one free bottle of Navy SEAL cologne. I can't.
Why did you make that, by the way?
Why did I?
Yeah.
I did. We had the
why not?
idea. Yeah, we were just hanging out.
That's a
and
wonderful idea.
It was like
That's so funny.
we had a friend that had a bottling company that was able to just test fragrances and stuff. You know, Rocco. It's like, Rocco, you got a cologne guy? He's like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I
of
do.
course, Rocco.
So we
I got a
got
guy.
we got the prices back on it, and it was like super easy to do to run 500 bottles, and so we were just like, let's just do it. Like, and we had Gary do this logo up. It's just ridiculous and funny, and it's just like, oh, let's make.
Are you selling it anymore?
No.
No,
No, it was a limited
You can't
edition,
even get
right?
it anymore.
But
Now,
really,
one
the
and
whole
done.
reason for that is I wanted to make one of those fake Calvin Klein commercials with the whispering and the black and white.
Yeah.
And just make
like
it all about that.
Direct
Smells like parachute.
Smells like parachute hops.
Yes. Parachute. Maritime.
Like, so it was
Gas
just,
masks,
and then like when we
scuba
got
gear.
the sample bottles back, I took I was on the range with Apaches, and there's an Apache hovering right by me, so I just took a slow-mo video and played the Team America song while holding the Navy SEAL bottle and posted that, and it went crazy. Like, is this going to be available? So I was like, all right, I guess we're running it now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you ever see the one I did with that?
I did.
It was me trying to pick up the girl, and I'm like, I'm a ranger, and she's like, cool, bro. And then I pull out the Navy SEAL, and then she's like, just hardcore sex. after.
Yeah, it just goes straight to
My
hardcore
mom didn't
sex.
like that commercial, so rightfully so. But that's okay.
Funny, my mom keeps playing it like over and over and over again.
Oh, well, that's because your mom and I have a special relationship.
What do you mean
do.
by special?
We insert things into ATMs.
Oh,
Rob, if you've seen Jared's mom, it's kind of shocking where you're like,
Yeah.
holy
Really?
shit.
Here we
Yeah.
Really well put together, super cute.
Lays out by the pool, very tan.
Down for anything.
Yeah,
Fits.
And the way her tan lines pop off of her skin, it's
God.
something to
Magic.
be.
Copper tone baby tan lines, those are. Pull it down just a peek.
Yeah,
Let me see
little
a peek.
peeksies.
just
Yeah.
stop it.
I'm a big tan line guy.
My dad was in the Navy, 29 years.
Oh, wow.
He was on the Parchie.
What kind is that?
submarine. It's
a sub,
it's the
yeah.
spook boat.
Yeah. Those are tough. Have you been on a sub?
Oh, well, yeah, with him.
With him, yeah.
Not out to sea.
Tight
I
quarters.
was at Jersey Mike's the last time I was
Oh,
on
yeah,
a sub.
That's right.
Not the same type of service again. That's
No.
the food and
Different service altogether that I was in.
Where you living now, Rob?
I'm in between Dallas and New York City.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, I travel quite a bit. I'm on the road doing a lot of
Speaking
public
gigs?
speaking, a lot of stuff for my foundation. Your Grateful Nation transition special operators to the private sector. So a lot of
What was the name again?
Your Grateful Nation.
Your Grateful Nation.
YGN, yourgratefulnation.org. And we take guys from right now Special Forces into the private sector because they have a lot of skills that they don't know they have, that a lot of companies want, that they learned in the military, how to lead, be led, stress management, loyalty. And we put them through a 9-month mentorship program, and then in any industry they want, they're in charge of major projects. So a lot of time on the road with that. I found out how much it costs to run a foundation. So I'm out there a lot.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Jared's wife actually wanted him in the loyalty program.
God.
He's on second there.
That was fucking savage.
Oh, yeah. Legs
I was
cut
like,
off on that
Where are
one.
you going with this?
No, I'm totally kidding.
Do you enjoy public speaking?
I love it. It's a trip because it's kind of a rush to get in front of people. I like to see try out new material, a lot of jokes, and there are a lot of military type jokes that the corporate people don't think are jokes. So it's funny to see their reactions. Get on stage, like in the first 30 seconds, drop an F-bomb just so they're like, what did he just say? Like in, what's that movie where he's singing that wedding song and drops fuck in the middle of it? Old school.
Old school, yeah. I fucking need you now tonight.
And they're kind of looking at each other. He say fucking need you now, and it's like kind of sets the tone. But yeah, it's fun to speak in front of people. It's just crowds are different. They've always been good, and it's just fun to see their reactions because they don't expect a joke. They want a lot of speakers, military speakers, get up there, and a lot of them are tough guys, and they speak tough guy
and very clinical,
and they intimidate. I want my people to have fun, so we have fun with it.
Yeah.
I think that's a great take on it. You guys are actually, everyone but here, other than me, is phenomenal in speaking. Jared's great at it. Ross is great at it. I fucking hate speaking in front of people.
I mean, Ross gets us kicked out of the MGM Grand.
I don't know. I overanalyze it. Fair enough. Paralysis by analysis or some shit. But
paralysis, that's good.
But
analysis, yeah.
I've seen you do some speaking stuff, and it's fucking pretty cool.
Thank you. Well, I learned the key to public speaking is 3 strong drinks, not 4, not 2. 3 of them get out
3.
there. Mm-hmm.
3.
Gauge that drink. Are we talking 3 to 3 fingers?
3, yeah, well, of course.
Okay.
It's got to be a man
there it
size.
is.
Yeah. Does it depend which finger? Because like this is a little.
See, I refuse to drink before the national anthem because I'm terrified I'm going to forget the words.
Oh, and
Yeah,
that's
it's bad for
viral.
your voice, and you shouldn't.
Drinking?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Rob, if I can, I want to share a story with the audience.
Yes.
Of the first time I saw you. You're not going to remember me, obviously, but I'm in Columbus, Ohio, for a Rolling Stones concert.
Yes, I remember that. You were in the crowd, though. There were 70,000 people there. But I
was front row. So
I obviously saw you.
I was right there. And Kid Rock is opening up for the Rolling Stones.
True, yeah.
He stops the show mid-set, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to raise a fucking beer to the man who killed Osama Bin Laden." And then you introduce Rob O'Neill. You come out on stage. People lost their fucking minds, including myself. I was just like, "This is America."
Yeah.
I like that.
That and the Navy SEAL cologne and chicks is panty droppers, man. That's just going down. But yeah, he asked me because he's a buddy of mine. He asked me if he could play American Badass, and they played the national anthem in the middle. And he said, "You want to come out and check it out?" And I'll tell you what, if you haven't been on stage for when the Stones are about to play, that's a lot of people to be looking
Wow.
at. Yeah,
how
cool.
how crazy!
It was
is
so
that?
nuts. You point anywhere, and then 7,000 hands go up, and it's like mind control. It's so cool, but it's surreal. It's like the first time you jump out of a plane. Like it's not that big. You got to take it all in. It's really cool.
The interesting part about it, and I'm not saying this just because you're on the show, is you have Kid Rock, you have the Rolling Stones, and the crowd goes crazy. They went bananas for you.
That's cool.
Like, I don't know if you stayed for the Stones show or if you bounced after
we
that.
we did. We stayed there. We had some guys up there with some families.
When you came out on stage, I mean, it was crazy.
That's good to hear.
That was the loudest it was all night, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, that was neat. It was neat.
And when I went home, like, because my buddies were like, "Dude, how was the show?" I was like, "It was rad," but like the dude who killed Bin Laden came out. Like, holy fucking shit, it was amazing. It was cool.
Did you ever see yourself there? I mean,
no.
It's crazy, right? Because I think that a fucking amazing quote that I love is there's a difference between quiet professional and silent professional. But I mean, I can't imagine in so many years that you served and then doing such a public event in such a private culture that there's no way you could keep that under wraps or whatever.
There was no way.
No,
Well, it was my plan. Well, I mean, there's never a perfect plan. It always changes.
Right.
My plan was to 30 years in the Navy. And as a Master Chief Buds instructor and retire in California, smoke cigars on the beach. That's the plan. And then we got called for the Bin Laden raid, and even training for that, it's like, well, I'm not going to get the shot. But we joke with each other about who is. Like he's going to get on a fucking slide and be in the goddamn alley, and then my buddy with the saw is going to take him down. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
the BP position guy
yes,
is going to be like,
he's
you're
getting
like,
them
you're
all.
the fucking junior
You're the guy. Yeah, exactly.
Damn
it. So
because every senior guy's like, I'm the first in door, bitches.
But when we got done with that mission, I mean, even guys in the helicopter knew what happened. And as we're flying back, and when we landed, the mechanics from TF-160 knew what happened. They're all pointing at me. It's like, and God forbid to get back to Virginia Beach in 16 hours, and everyone in the goddamn city knows. It's
Did you go that quick back to?
Yeah, we got back. The 90-minute flight out to J-Bad.
Yep.
Then we put them on a C-130, flew up to Bagram, and we laid out all the SSE stuff. So who was where, what was in the house, laying it out. They got the body there. They're doing the DNA, And then we got the news on, and they're talking about it already. Then the president comes out, and then we actually wanted to find the Navy Seabees, because if anyone's going to have a pizza oven and a bunch of brown liquor, it's going to be them. Seabees know how to roll. They got it. So, we went there, showered up, hung out. We got on the internet, and it's all over the news. SEAL Team 6 just killed Bin Laden. Then we got on a plane and flew. And so, 15, 16 hours back, there were people waiting for us when we got there. Like, everyone knew what happened. Everyone knew. Because everyone on both coasts, because you got SEAL teams in Virginia Beach and then Coronado, every single SEAL gets asked who got him. And he'd say, well, don't tell anybody, but. And then that friend goes and tells the bartender down at McPee's or over at the Ready Room in Virginia Beach.
I fucking shot Bin Laden!
Yeah.
That, by the way, is the most accurate video I've seen of that whole mission.
Rob Riggle.
That's
I was going to ask you.
That's how it
Rob
went down.
Riggle's Funny or Die sketch.
That's how it went down.
It really was.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
No way.
I got in a little trouble for that.
Does he know? Does Rob Riggle know?
Yeah, I met him. I think he kissed me on the mouth when I met him at a Super Bowl party.
Well, I'm up next.
Hey, whatever.
Hey.
So,
question for you, just because we share similar backgrounds ish, far more acclaimed service in your end, but is it different, right? I'm trying to put myself in that perspective. I've shot enough people in my day, but I'm like, is it different when it's such a high profile individual? Pretty much America's been hunting this motherfucker for over a decade, and you get a fucking dirt nap this fuck. Is it so rewarding, or is it like, or is it the immediate sense, fuck, the fallout?
That is the first
everything.
When I shot him, and I did a few things in the room, then it hit me, and one of my first thoughts was, oh my God, is this the worst thing I've ever done? Or is this the best thing I've ever done? This is uncharted shit here. And I saw what happened to one of my friends who was the lead sniper that initiated the fire to rescue Richard Phillips. One of my best friends.
Captain Phillips.
Yeah. He led the firing. Our job wasn't to go kill those guys. We had snipers down for security. He saw something unsafe, initiated the fire. The other snipers reacted, and they all shot. But he got a lot. I was there, but I wasn't down in the shooting. I was one of the assault team members. But because he initiated the fire, that was the biggest mission we'd ever done. He was getting shit from his bosses. Like they were pissed at him because that close to something that big, and they didn't get a shot, but he did. It's a weird sense that starts going down. So I knew when that happened, when I shot Bin Laden, it's like, oh man, this is not only is there going to be blowback, but someone's going to find out who I am, and they're going to come after me now. Not Navy. I'm talking.
Are you over that now? That paranoia?
I'm not over it. It's just it's a realization that it's there. I mean, it's there.
Dude, you
Be
never
prepared.
even sub the enemy threat, like with everything that went down with Chris Caio. All of us have this in the back of our head now.
You have to.
That it could be one of our fucking own that just wants
just 15 minutes.
Some weird wants to be the one that there's a worry there.
Yeah,
with the threat though, you need to be aware that we're all targets. Yeah, not just us, but I'm talking like they're not going to wait for me to walk out of Fox News by myself, walking quickly, when they can go a block up and hit Times Square with whatever they got.
Sure.
Like if they're waiting with a gun, they're going to go kill 30 people instead of waiting to try to find me.
Right.
So, but the threat's there, yeah. And so guns, dogs, cameras, security systems, sometimes armed security, but you do what you do.
I agree and mildly disagree with that. I think that, yes, you have soft targets where you could get the most mass casualty, which is national news, but then there's also, I think, the same way of like shooting such a high-profile people as Bin Laden. Like, because I'm a fucking nobody, but I think about that, and it's why I take such big security measures in my own life, is because I'm a fucking douchebag on the internet, but motherfuckers want. I mean, I make fucking
you would make
ISIS
that would
jokes
make
all the time.
it
would be national news.
Very true. Very true.
There's a reason I sleep with night vision and a suppressed fucking AR and plenty of ammo, and we got a fucking hardpoint plan.
I sleep with a pillow under my gun.
So, love that one.
So I didn't make that up, but I'll take credit for it.
Yeah, it
doesn't matter. All jokes are recycled.
I'm sure somebody else took credit for shooting Bin Laden, right?
That happened. Believe me,
it did. It did. Right?
Walking up to that door though, were you just tickled, just like
no? Going into the house was awesome because like my guys are already inside because they crashed and we're outside, so they're already in there in the fight. And we didn't know they crashed; we just knew they're in there because there's all the shooting going on. So when I got in, it's just looking at it's like, this is fucking cool. That's Bin Laden's house. That's more of that feeling, and it's going to blow up tonight. And we're all going to die, but I'm going to take this in. But then going up the last set of stairs, like everyone did such a great job. Nobody was afraid, even though there should be IEDs everywhere in the house. There's not. There's one guy in front of me. I'm behind him. And we know Bin Laden's going to be up there. And that's where the suicide bombers have got to be. So it wasn't even a, let's go get him. It was more of, I'm fucking tired of thinking about this, man. Let's go. So two of us went up. And it was then it turned into Surreal, followed by Frozen, followed by shit, we might live. Get the fuck out of here.
I know there's speak of that in the book, and I actually really want to get to know you more on a personal level, and not speak about one fucking day of your whole entire life, because it doesn't define you. I think it's just.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. I have a decent amount of friends in the community. Obviously, with my background, Jared's background, we all know that like you can define yourself by one absolutely terrible or great moment in your life, but like you're so much more than that. But obviously, I'm sure the listeners want some details. Like so.
Oh yeah.
Which is funny, right? And I think that's when people say thank you for your service. I think that's really it's a blanket statement, but that's that thought that you just put through your head, like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking die. Because I think a lot of us have been in that position, like,
sure.
yeah, of course we're gonna die.
Here's
like,
where it comes.
You've walked into buildings and they've wired cell phones to fucking initiate an IED and just dump a whole platoon. Like it's standard
Even
practice.
walking down a choke point, and it's like they're gonna put it there, and we're all shit.
All shit can. But so were you like walking up there going, I know this is going to be an engagement with said individual, or was it like? Did Santa come? Like, because that's what it was. It's Santa up there.
It was. We're gonna blow up, and it's almost a question of how fast do I go to avoid it, or do I get right on top of it and beat it? What do we? Because the guy in front of me is brave, and he took the dump on the. Turned out to be women that he thought weren't vests. He just kind of tackled them, so he's taking it too, and I just turned.
So he thought they were going to initiate.
Yeah, so he jumped. He jumped
first.
Well, no, the son. He killed the son on the way up the stairs. Killed Khalid Bin Laden on the stairs.
Khalid,
and then we went up. I was like 8 guys back, but I got to watch that go down. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. How we just whispered to Khalid and he came out and
and the kid peeked his head out. Right?
He just. I mean, that was just a very, very smart operator, knowing if I stay calm, don't freak him out. Maybe I can confuse him. Maybe he'll come look at me, and he did.
Yeah,
and he said, "Come here" in 2 different languages. He knew Khalid spoke.
And he rolled down the stairs?
He just died right there.
Yeah.
He was like behind a banister on like a big stair that's in the middle of a.
That's what someone calls big dick energy. That's
yeah,
big dick energy shit right there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Khalid, what's up? Bam!
Oh, he did. That was badass.
Epic.
And then so I was still 8 guys back in the train, and we went up the stairs, and they all split off to clear the rooms on the left and right, and then left me and the point man. And then we're kind of just standing there, and he said something goofy like. These bitches is getting truculent or something. It was something weird where I said, I don't think that word means what you think it means. Like our last joke. Yeah. It gets a squeeze, we're going to go up and blow up now. And that's kind of how it went down. It wasn't going to be planned for he and I. It's just, that's how it came down.
Did he communicate anything before the initial shots went off, or it was just like, oh,
he wanted to go up the stairs because he thought we could beat him. He's like, they're putting on vests. We weren't really talking, but he really wanted to go. And I wanted 2 more guys. I wanted 4 more guys. I'll take 2. But he just was saying, he said, come on. He knew it was one of his guys, not me. It's one of my guys on my shoulder, 2 men. He said, we got to go.
So when you go up there, right, violence of action, right? Sometimes you got to beat the fucking.
That's it, yeah.
The worst story in my whole entire life is because we waited too long and we let them prep.
That's exactly it.
Cow, shitty fucking day.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to get in it.
Of course. So when you roll up in there, was there any reaction from like Bin Laden, or was it just like a fucking deer in headlights? Like
it was closer to deer in the headlights, but he was moving toward me with his wife in front of him, and he was 6'4" and she was not. Yeah. And it's an easy shot from him. He was 3 or 4 feet away. But just I remember seeing him. I can see it right now if I want to, and wearing the white skirt and or not skirt, the white clothes,
the tunic,
just pitch black.
The man
jams. It was dark, yeah. And then I could recognize his nose. That's his nose. I was surprised at how short his beard was, but it was gray. He was wearing his white hat. Tall, skinny, old, but he's moving towards me. He's not surrendering. If a guy that high profile has about a second to convince me not to kill him.
Oh,
and he didn't do it, and I blasted him. And then it's one of those feelings. I'm sure you can. I hope you can agree, Matt, that like when you're in a situation and someone's not a threat, you can kind of just feel it.
Right.
So his wife was not. She's not wearing a vest. I could just tell.
Right.
So I moved her, and he's dying at the foot of his bed. I could hear him take his last breath. And that's when other SEALs started coming in the room, and his 2-year-old son was there, and I picked him up because as a father, I'm thinking this poor kid has nothing to do with this, and he just watched his dad get blasted in front of him. So I put him down, and that's when other SEALs are in there, and that's when it sort of hit me. And one of my guys comes up, and he, just being a typical operator, funny, like, "Hey man, are you good?" And I said, "No. What do we do now?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Now we find the computers, bro. We do this every night." And I'm like, "You're right. Holy shit."
Yeah.
And he goes,
time to go into SSC.
And he literally goes, "So you just killed Bin Laden? Now let's get back to work." God damn, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
On that ride back, did it ever set into you? Because I'm sure being in the military, this is your dream kill. It doesn't get any bigger.
Well,
than
it was,
this.
but it was going to be Delta. It was never going to be me, certainly, or it's going to be senior guys from my command, but it's not me. And again, it's not me. It's the entire team did it. Everything from the analysts to the pilots to the air crew. But I took the shots. So on the way back, what a small world it is I'm actually laying on top of the sniper who initiated the fire for Captain Phillips. I'm actually laying on him because we crowded in because we had other guys from the SEAL team on there. They came in, another squadron, to get us. And I mentioned that he had been taking a lot of shit for what he did for Captain Phillips. And every time he did, I would go to him with a can of Copenhagen and say, take a dip from me. You're a hero. Don't listen to the negativity. Don't listen to the haters. And I do that all the time. And I'm laying on top of him. My nods are still down. And I see this Copenhagen come up. And he goes, here, now you can take one of mine because you know how it feels. I'm like, Jesus. And then the guy next to me, he's another SEAL from Team 6 from Manhattan. And he asked me the question, who got him? And I said, shit, I think I did. And he said, on behalf of my family, thank you. I was like, Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. And not to get peel that onion back too much, but like the criticism on people coming out and telling stories of heroism has always kind of perplexed me. I think that there are these stories that have to be told, and these guys that have fucking spent decades in war. And it's not a fucking easy job. There's a reason why, like I said, that thank you for your service thing earlier. The life, limb, fucking everything. These are guys that are willing to go out there and run at not only a known threat, but prominent death.
Oh yeah,
like you're gonna fucking die. And I think that we often criticize our own for being a little public with that information. As long as there's not TTPs and SOPs,
that's exactly right.
Fuck with guys and the continuation of the mission. Like, why not tell these stories? Because I know a lot of guys back in World War II and in Vietnam that they probably wish they could have fucking told the stories of heroism of their friends that were doing these epic things in the name of the fight that America voted for.
Your point here, and this was a big complaint and almost an argument I got into days before I left active duty with leadership inside the Air Combat Command, because I raised my hand when they come around and do the dog and pony show with someone from headquarters Air Force, and they're like, who has questions? I go, when are we getting a MOH recipient? And the answer from them is, we don't do things for the medals. And I go, yeah, that's great, but we need people to be recognized for the things that they did, so these young guys all in this room know who to strive to be and be like. Because when I came in 2003, that was right after the first wave of Silver Stars and Air Force Crosses got awarded to the guys on Roberts Ridge and Takur Ghar. It's right. So me as a young guy, I was reading citations of guys I was like, just had this God complex for, that was like, these guys are fucking badasses. And we had this gap from like 2009 in our community where we just weren't recognizing anybody for anything. It wasn't that we stopped doing anything. It's just people, people in the higher ups and things like that stop rewarding guys for things that they do because it's a jealousy thing. It's a lot of jealousy.
Yeah, it's all ego, thing. Right? And I mean, I joined the Army to be a Ranger because Black Hawk Down, especially 2 unit guys that were died and knew they were going to. Like, I was like, that's where I want to be in life. I want to be one of those guys, and I don't give a fuck if I die in my 20s because I want to be someone that is like a legend and respected. And life takes its course, but I think it's super inappropriate and unfair for people to judge at that level, especially when they've never put the fucking boots on and done the work. So it's my one little thing I wanted to interject in there. I fucking hate it when I see our community eat our own.
Oh, man, that happens too.
No, fuck. Trust me, I know. I'm, and all I do is make fucking dumb YouTube videos, and you're like, who you eat me for fucking having a career? Like, everybody just needs to chill out and realize that, like, we're fucking a community and a family, and we have to, like, be better together. And the only way that happens is if we come together as one.
Yeah, and I think telling the story too, like with my book, I got it approved through the DOD.
Mm-hmm.
At the Pentagon.
How long did it take?
Well,
yes. Yeah. I was like,
I
was like 17 months.
Mine took like 9 months. Yeah. It was.
I think they wanted
part. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I just, as long as you're, like you said, you're not giving up TTPs or putting anyone in harm's way, the story should be told. And I'm happy with mine. Like I have a platform now where I can tell people I didn't have the most dangerous job in the military. It's the soldier and the Marine. Yeah. And the airmen that are walking through minefields in the daytime in Kandahar. Yeah. That's the dangerous job. And no one hears their story. So there needs to be a platform for people out there doing it. I'm pretty sure we're happy that George Washington brought a biographer with him when he fought the Hessians in the Revolutionary War. I'm glad we know what happened at Iwo Jima. I'm glad we know what happened on Normandy.
Right.
The stories need to be told, like it or not. And it's not like like me personally. I've never taken credit for Bin Laden. I'm just telling you what happened on the stairs.
Sure.
I'm telling you about the bravery about the guy in front of me.
Somebody else did, though. Somebody else tried to take credit for that, right?
Yeah. Well, sort of. There was a book, No Easy Day, that was written
Correct.
And everyone on that mission that put their butts in the seat risked their lives. They're all heroes.
Fuck yeah.
And a colleague of mine wrote a book, and he was behind me. I don't know. It's a fog of war. It's a lot of emotion and stuff like that. But as far as I know, he never said he killed Bin Laden. He said he shot Bin Laden.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm not getting into. I don't know.
I read the book.
Mm-hmm.
He said someone else got him first, and then 2 people came in afterwards while he was gasping for breath, and they ended it. So they shot him afterwards in the book.
Okay.
And
see, I don't know what happened back there. When I saw Bin Laden, he was standing on his feet, and I shot him 3 times.
Right.
He was on his feet. Again, they're all heroes, and the team did the mission. The pilot that crash landed and saved everyone's lives in Dash 1, he's the hero. I'm a guy that went upstairs because I was scared and I just knew the tactics. That's
absolutely.
And my response to that, coming from a direct action community, would be like, let's all sit at the table and drink a glass of whiskey because everybody devoted their lives to get that. That's such fucking specialized fucking unit and participate in no fucking more threat situation. So it's
maybe it's because I come from the community where we're the insurance policy that it's more of the if my teammate killed somebody. I just,
man, you got him. You got him.
But I've been in that position
it
too,
wouldn't
man.
be a fight. It'd be like, yeah.
One of my team leaders, man, when I was we were out there and we got in a fucking ambush and we ended up shooting fucking 11 people or whatever. And him and I in an AAR got after it. I was like, no, I dumped that guy. And he's like, no, I shot him. And we went back and forth and they're like, he's dead, guys.
He's dead.
And I was like, oh yeah. He didn't kill any of our guys, so one of us did the job right, or we both did it.
I know on that mission to the Bin Laden raid, we brought only SEALs. So we're like, we don't have our Air Force guys with us. If someone gets shot or we need to call CAS, we are fucked. We're fucked. I know how to carry a sledgehammer. That's about as tactical as I get.
Yeah, exactly.
You just made Jared's life.
Oh, well, I know all the guys that were on the Phillips raid. They're
On the Phillips raid, can you clear something up?
Sure.
Did he actually say, "Look at me, I'm the captain now"?
I don't know. That's a great
answer.
But I've got a good one for you on this. I sat next to the plane on a plane next to a guy that had just gotten out of prison, and he was the barber in the prison that guy's at, the captain.
Yeah.
And
Look at me.
He said he is so salty and still to this day trying to fight that he didn't get any money from the movie.
No,
I'm dead serious. He said every time he cut his hair, that's all that motherfucker talked about was how much he got screwed over to have no money from the movie or any of that.
The actual pirate.
The pirate.
Yeah, the pirate. the pirate wanted money. They wanted money for the movie.
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
I know.
Yeah, you're in life in prison.
Yeah, exactly, man.
And you're like, where's my money?
That's my likeness, bro. I want to check.
Yeah.
But
You're
it was just
a
a
criminal.
fascinating story from that dude. He was like, I got a good one. I was like, you were the prison barber. God, you probably got the best stories ever. He goes, I got the best of the best. Listen to this.
That's great. One other thing, Rob, that I wanted to touch on, we can move on from the Bin Laden thing. Like Matt said, we don't have to talk about this all day, is we obviously have a lot of military veterans on the show. There's a common theme that we've found, in particular among this generation, that says the same thing. Why? We always ask the same question. Why did you decide to get into the military? 99% of the time, it's 9/11. 9/11 was why we got into the military. Mm-hmm. And then you kill the guy who was responsible for 9/11. Mm-hmm. Does that feel like winning the lottery, or do you like?
Well, I didn't. I joined.
Should they pray to you?
Yeah.
That's another thing too. That because we had the controversy of dumping the body in the ocean, because the thing was they didn't want to make a shrine to Bin Laden that they could worship, but they didn't. You got to realize these are Wahhabis. They're not allowed to worship anything but Allah. That's why you can't depict Muhammad, because they're worried it's a false idol. So they never would have done that. So that's kind of funny. But no one prays to me. I hope. God, no.
Yeah.
Well, Hell Express ticket for one.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have Rob on Snapchat, please send him your prayers for the next.
Yeah, but is
weeks.
it weird that you've become the guy who? I mean, because let's face it, even today, in today's world of bad guys, there still isn't anybody as big as that.
No.
I can't remember. I mean,
no, I can't either.
Over time, Hitler.
Yeah, but he
Bin
killed
Laden.
himself. Yeah.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You were the one guy who
nobody ever got the one shot.
I joined before 9/11. I joined in 1995.
Did you go straight to the teams?
Yeah,
or-
I did. I went to boot camp in January '96, and I graduated Buds by December '96.
That sounds really cold.
And well, I went to Buds in April, so I had a summer hell week, which is better. It's still the Pacific's cold all the time, but summer hell week is
San Diego,
better.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you ever go up to Santa Barbara and party a little bit?
Yeah.
Born and raised.
That's outstanding. I can tell.
Yeah. Backwards hat, little bro vibe.
And awesome YouTube videos. That's kind of how it works. So yeah, but then I was on my third deployment on 9/11. I was in Germany. We just got done in Kosovo, and all we knew is everything just changed. Like we're no more UCOMs where we can go party in Lithuania and hang out in Norway. It's like we're going.
It's done, right?
We're going to the mountains and the desert. And that's about it from now on.
Man,
But imagine if you teleported yourself back. Frickin' how many years was that?
I was in
15?
I was 15 years from Bin Laden's thing. Yeah.
Yes, 15 years back, teleport back and be like, hey, in 15 years,
you're
going to
be the
asshole.
dude. Yeah.
Well, we'd heard about him when the first deployment I did. I just finished sniper school. We went to Albania because there's a big exercise, and Bin Laden said, "Well, we have Al Qaeda there. We're going to try to hit this." So we're doing sniper coverage for not a high threat, but I remember hearing Bin Laden's name, knowing who Al Qaeda was way before 9/11, and just to think, yeah, this guy, then all of a sudden 9/11, and then again, like I said, it's the guys from Team 6 or Delta or someone that's going to go get them. It's cool that we're trying to invent new tactics to see how we're going to jump in to that cave complex with 50 fighters or whatever, but there's never going to be a mission to a house in a resort town on stealth helicopters.
Yeah.
It's just no one ever
America.
thought. Yeah.
America.
That was cool, though. Those helicopters were badass. They actually authorized me to mention them, too, in the book so I could talk about them. But
that was what I was going to ask you the second we cut this. I was like, I want to know all about it.
Because they're just like outfitted UH-60s, right?
Yeah.
Or H-60s?
It was just because we went out to Nevada. I'm not allowed to talk about that. But we...
was it Area 51?
When we saw them... Because we were convinced we were going to get shot down. And I was like, we would plan around this planning table, and I would talk to the guys, and me of all people, saying, we need to take this more serious. Like, this is a one-way mission. And so they kind of got all calm, whatever. Then we flew out to wherever, and we came out of a hangar and saw these things. And
this is the first time you've ever seen it?
Anyone's seen them. And,
holy shit.
And I said, wow, this is, I guess it's 90% we might not get shot down because I didn't know we were going to go to war on a transformer.
That's got to be the first thought. Like, we actually do have shit that we kept secret.
And then we kept it secret, no kidding.
God bless America.
You don't have to say it, but can you wink if it's Area 51? Can we?
And so when it rhymes with it.
But I know where it is.
When we were on our, we're 2 minutes out to Bin Laden's house, and like we opened the air crew, thank God they were there. The Army air crew knew how to open the fucking door. We never would have figured it out. And you look, yeah, right. You look down and there's like, you got a resort town. Like I know there's a golf course behind us, and it's like it's not like going to a house in Afghanistan.
I didn't know it was a resort town.
Yeah,
no shit. Okay.
So,
and I just remember thinking, man, this is some serious Navy SEAL shit we're about to do. We're invading a town.
Wait, I read books about this, and I'm fucking doing it. All right.
I heard I can bench press 500 pounds. That was
did you guys
warrior.
have any? I mean, we were looking. Was there any air threat?
No, because one of the things that sort of eased our mind was most of their weapons are looking towards India.
Really?
No one's going to invade them from Afghanistan.
So,
I mean, the thought's there, but then again, what is me worrying about a missile going to stop the missile?
Yeah.
I'm just going to think about it.
You're just going to be like, beep.
Oh, you're
Game
gone.
over.
You're just dead.
Game
I mean,
over.
were they more reluctant on just the secrecy of not knowing where he was?
Well, we didn't want to tell the Pakistanis, that's
Yeah.
all. Because one of the choices was a multilateral op with the Pakistanis.
There's no way that works.
No,
They
tell
fucking tell him he's
they'll go
out.
get him. They're taking him out.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not taking him out, but like moving him.
Yeah, of course.
So when you get back to the United States, and how long do you stay as a Navy SEAL before you end up getting out?
Well, we had a bunch of stuff go down in the aftermath because it turned into a big dog and pony show. Everybody wants to see the guys that did it. Yeah. Everybody wants to meet them. That was weird for us because we were low key, believe it or not.
Yeah,
then we started making movies and shit. But then in August, Extortion 17 was shot down. So that's, we killed Bin Laden in May. Then in August, we lose 31 Americans, to include the dog.
Fucking terrible.
And then we're planning funerals. And then we lost an entire troop. You can't replace that experience. So,
and fucking heroism, dude. Those,
oh, yeah.
my God,
Unreal.
That's a huge blow to
well,
the
and that blow too,
squadron.
like because the Rangers were in a fight and they went in and they said they put all 31 guys on one bird because they said -2 is going to get shot down, -1 might not, so we're going to roll the dice, and that just sucks. It happened. And then, we had to replace an entire troop. So I was a team leader. I wanted to move to another squadron so I could get right to Afghanistan because I knew I was going to get out in January, but I extended to August. Just sort of an offering. I'm saying, look, I'm not getting out because of this. I'm going to go to war one more time, but I am getting out in August. So I'm going to go to war one more time. So I did that. And then I got on terminal leave and realized I don't know what the hell I'm going to do now. That's why I founded Your Grateful Nation, because in that 6 months, I realized, well, not everyone can get out and sell hats and people are going to buy them. And believe it or not, just because you're a SEAL, they're not going to hire you either, even though we all think they will, because we're entitled, because why wouldn't we be?
It's the cologne.
Got a sense of
it's
humor.
the cologne.
Rob's got a sense
But
of humor.
but it was before, I didn't do 20. I did almost 17. But it's just time to get out,
Sure. And I guess where I'm going with this after that is when you kill the biggest high profile person in the world.
The only supervillain.
Yeah. How do you come down from...
Right, I'm going to start saying that from now on.
He's the only one.
But doesn't the rest of life seem boring at that point?
No, it's good. I'm good.
I was like, I'll take that question for him.
No, like the adrenaline thing, I'm over it.
You are.
My very last mission was my first L ambush, which should be awesome. Because an L ambush is like the second thing you learn when you join
You just
Yeah.
hope
join the
that
army.
you can
You
get
get more basic tactics.
That's it,
than
yeah,
that.
and that's what you do. And it,
Support by fire, and then they're going to
we're getting shot at, we're killing them, and no adrenaline. I'm like, if I'm not getting adrenaline, I got to get out. I'm going to get complacent. Someone shoots at me, I'm going to walk up to them, assuming I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to get blasted. It's time to leave. So the adrenaline thing, I'm good. I am a Washington Redskins fan, so I get enough of that there. Just
Yeah, especially with Alex Smith as your quarterback. God damn it. That guy throws 5 yard outs all day long.
He's all right. Cousins is having a big year. I don't know. Whatever. They got Adrian Peterson. He's doing well. Hail to the Redskins.
I'm a fan of Cousins.
Yeah, he's good.
They should have kept
He's
him.
good. He's good.
Yeah, I can see that perspective, right? Where there's a certain, like, I think I'm good. But the cool part about that is, like, what you're doing post all of this. And I'm not trying to be a fanboy or anything. I just, like, I'm super respect guys that have these crazy experiences in life. And then are you trying to use their shit days and all this other stuff to, like, provide for other people in the community that need it? Because I think there needs to be more awareness about the veteran community and that people aren't fucked up. There's guys out there like you that, 17 years in the fucking teams, and you're like a go-getter, you're an inspirer, you're an educator. Like, those are the people that I want the veteran community to be, like, associated with, not this fucking pill popping.
That's exactly what I'm saying too.
Bullshit. Because, like, there's some people out there, and there's some bad eggs, and there's a lot of guys that have issues. But the only way we fix those issues is if we bring the whole country together to focus on fixing these guys.
A lot of these companies that we send veterans to are at first surprised that they're not getting some PTSD crazy guy that's going to shoot the place up. They're getting a guy that has an MBA,
and that's the narrative. That's the narrative. He's a pilot or something. Yeah. We fucking sit in Fortune 500 meetings, and the narrative is, well, we tend not to hire veterans because everybody's afraid that they're going to shoot the place up.
The opposite.
And are you fucking kidding me?
These
guys have MBAs and BAs,
they do. Yeah.
and they're fucking crushing business. And to your point about speaking about leadership, these guys have fucking led either a team, a squad, a platoon in fucking combat, the most complex, dynamic environment in the fucking world. Yep. You don't think that they can manage some HR issues? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And that's the whole thing too. Like, if the perfect plan that you came up with is working, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like in combat, one of the rules is that anything you do can get you killed, including nothing. So being able to adjust in a fluid environment, like you're saying, they can do this now. Yeah. And no one's shooting at them. They're going to be just fine. But a lot of employers just need to see that. And it's working.
100%. And I think guys like you and a lot of other people in the community are hopefully bringing that awareness, and I'm stoked about it. So,
what was the coolest experience you had when you got back from America and everybody knew that it was you? And
I fucking shot Bin Laden!
Yeah.
Keep going to that video.
But like,
Rob Riggle video.
I go back to that
was
Kid
sent
Rock.
to me. We did get leave after the Bin Laden raid, and I was kind of down in the dumps. And one of my buddies sent me that video. That cheered me. It wasn't the
how long
thing.
did that come out after
3 weeks,
the operation?
about.
Oh fuck!
But
they
I
were
guess,
quick.
but
it was quick. Funny guy was quick.
Like,
Rob Riggle said he was like, I think with like Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell were writing a movie the day after the Bin Laden raid, something like this, and they said, what's it like to be that guy? So they shot that video, and that's just pretty funny. No, I've been fortunate. I've been able to meet some cool people. The Kid Rock thing, and he's a buddy of mine, so that's why he asked me to get on.
Bob?
That's the hardest part about getting to know Kid Rock is calling him Bob.
Yeah, because that's his real name. And you're like,
It's Bob.
you're on the Bob level.
Yeah, but everybody we know that knows him, Johnny Primo, right?
Mhm,
Yeah, he was working security for him. They said they love the guy.
Everybody
Oh,
loves
he's a
Kid
I
Rock.
want to meet Bob, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
when
want
we
to
should
play.
party
I want to
with
play
Bob.
guitar on
Bob,
stage,
Bob.
man. I get down
Come
with
on.
the 6 strings.
The other person I heard you were partying with the other night was Dave Grohl.
Dave
Foo
Grohl's my
Fighters.
man too. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no
like,
way.
dude,
He's
the
awesome.
best.
That is
Dave's
fucking awesome.
Well, Dave's great because I met him the first time at one of the Super Bowls where I met Rob Riggle too, and boy, I'm name dropping like a son of a bitch.
That's
right now.
fine. We,
But,
we do it
still
all the
haven't
time
met
here.
Rob Riggle.
We do it all the time.
We wanted him really bad for Range 15, and he turned us down.
He did,
and
didn't he?
we've
turned us
never
down for the movie, yeah.
we
That's
did.
okay.
But I got a picture with. So Dave Grohl asked me if I wanted shots of tequila, and I'm like, of course. And then he took a couple shots. And he said, "Well, do you want to go meet Paul McCartney?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I got a great
No
picture.
way.
I got a great picture of me, Dave Grohl, and Paul McCartney. But the best part of the story is, I sent the picture right to my younger sister, who's a huge Nirvana fan, huge Beatles fan, and a huge Foo Fighters fan. And I sent, so it's me, Dave Grohl, and Paul McCartney. And she goes, "That is so cool." And oh my God, that old lady looks just like Paul McCartney. That is
It
Paul.
is Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
It
it's
is Paul McCartney
That
now.
is Sir Paul McCartney.
Yeah, we all
Sir.
get it. Everybody gets old. There's nothing you can do about it.
Well, there's all this, like, Dave said some political things, and people ask me if I care. I'm like, I do not care, because I care about their music, and he's a great dude. And some with Paul McCartney and John Lennon jerking off together recently. It's not recently, but
Yeah.
that's the story that came out. And it's like, yeah, but the White Album, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. I don't care if they jerked
You're making
off,
music like that,
jerked
jerk
off
each other
together.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were jerking off in bed together.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, yeah, I read that story and I was like,
And they're like, well, it wasn't
Hold
a
on,
gay
but
thing.
But
It's like,
that's
well,
the thing.
kind
Like,
of is.
certain
Yeah.
people can't make that association. Maybe they jerked off in bed, and they're like, "We should write this song." Kaboom.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that's your favorite song. So,
Like,
So
don't
what
care
you're
how it
saying
happened.
is
we
come
should
together.
jerk off.
That's what you're
together.
getting at. Because,
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly Strawberry Fields means, but I love the
Wait,
song.
what happens when Ranger and Seal semen mix, and we just like put that in something? I feel like that would be that's how the dinosaurs
jokes
come
are
back.
writing themselves.
The what?
The jokes are writing themselves.
Yeah.
There's so many branches I want to fuck with.
I know. Hey, fucking.
God,
Hey,
we should all jerk off together.
No, why aren't we?
turns into a big gay session. Oh my god! Yeah,
You will
Paul
not
McCartney.
believe what happened
Have
on
you
the last
partied
episode
with
of Drinkin' Bros.
Prince
Yeah.
Harry?
No.
You got to meet him yet?
No, I have not.
What about, so presidential wise, do they always ask you to stump for presidents when that comes around, election season and all that stuff?
They asked me for quite a bit of that stuff too, and as far as presidents go, I mean, it's,
Do you stay out of politics?
no, I'm not going to ever run, but I do try to get as many veterans as I can. I helped them out. I'm a chairman of a super PAC that helps vets get in, because it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on, a vet will get in the room with someone to try to solve the problem, which is not what's the case in Washington. Like, either side was party first, country second, which is crap.
Yes.
So,
bet.
a lot of stuff with John James up in Michigan. He's running against Debbie Stabenow. He's a West Point grad Ranger Apache pilot.
Yeah.
400 combat missions. Now he's a business owner. It's like, that's the kind of guy we
The
want.
Trump family was up there
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, more veterans is good as far as the political thing. I just think because the problem solvers.
Yeah. You stay out of like, hey, I'm for so and so, right?
Sometimes, but I will campaign. I don't know when this is going to air. Too, the midterms might be over, but I'm.
Actually, right before.
Oh, good.
This will air
Well,
right
we'll
before the
see how it
midterms.
goes. Yeah, I'm totally stumping for John James. I want my guy Montana to win, to beat John Tester. I want Matt Rosendale. A couple others that I'm helping out just with my veterans. They're all veterans.
And you're from Montana.
I
right?
am. I'm from Butte, Montana.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
any thought of ever living back there?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
we were
might
just talking
eventually.
about that.
I might
It's
eventually move back there.
God's country, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. It's
Do
so
you
cool.
hunt?
I do. I grew up hunting elk.
We should go kill stuff.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
a blast. Totally.
Yeah.
I got some good spots and some good hookups.
Jameson.
Sure, have some Jameson.
Yeah,
around.
we're gonna have some Jameson.
It was
You
actually
kidding me?
funny too. One of my horrible jokes that I probably shouldn't tell was people ask me what's the difference between hunting Al Qaeda and hunting an elk. And I'm like, I've never shot an elk in its sleep.
Yeah. I love that joke. And the weird thing is, and I never talk about killing people in the episode, but fuck it, let's do it. I feel some form of remorse shooting a deer, right? I like Avatar that bitch every time where I'm like, thank you so much for providing for my family. I'm like super into it. People, never fucking once. I'm like, the second one gets fucking hollow pointed and their head splatters across that stupid fucking mud fucking hut. I'm like, next one, let's go. And that's all.
Yeah.
But like, I actually respect animals. People,
When you're in that environment,
engagement,
too.
get fucked.
We
Let's
had
kill you.
the
Let's
first
murder you
the
all.
first kill I ever saw. I didn't even get it. One of my guys did in CQB in the house, but in his first kill too. So we were. This is our first time in combat, But we had a Brit with us from the SBS named Andy.
Good old Andy.
Andy had
Andy.
Andy.
That's a good accent. He had a death cloud that followed him. Like the invasion of Iraq, in Afghanistan, everywhere he went, he got in big fights. So he's seen this shit. And he's been in some bad stuff. Anyway, my friend shot the first Al Qaeda guy we ran into in this house, and he's kind of sitting there, sort of stunned. And he's like, "Andy, go check that guy." Andy calmly walks over to this white light and just goes, "Oh, he's fucked, mate."
He's fucked, mate. He's got 9 bullets in his face. No SS vest.
Do you wish you could ever go back at any point?
No, I'm good.
Do you ever have dreams about that at all?
I do. I don't need to go back. But there is no feeling better, adrenaline-wise, than getting to a house. And we're going to go in and we're going to hunt people. That's like the coolest adrenaline. Just is that we're doing some shit here. I'm serious.
Well, I think that's where like the calm before the storm comes. Cause,
it is, yeah.
You have more significant experience than me, but like, I think I have like over 400 something direct action. So like I participate in that a decent amount. And it's always like, that offset infill,
that's
walking up to the door.
And you get to the set point.
And your set point, your ORP, or whatever you want to call it. And it's like, okay, we're going to go loud or white light or NVGs in this thing. It's just like, that heart starts to go like this, but it's such a calculated heart movement.
It almost slows you down.
It's a drug. It's like nicotine or caffeine. It's
totally
just like, you're going to be fucking better. Like, let's get this. And then the chaos ensues, and then the aftermath, you're like, golly, this is like a fucking movie.
It's well, we work with Rangers every night, and that was always some of the best nights we had. It was when we would we're in a house, but all of a sudden we hear the saw going off. It's like, oh, the Rangers are fucking getting it. This is going to turn into a good night.
The fucking Ranger private. It's like, there's a guy with a gun.
All mine, it's like,
you're like, easy killer. He's dead. He's really fucking dead.
You know how cocky
I see metal.
you
That's a
are?
goddamn wheelchair. Knock it off.
You know how cocky you
never
are,
happened.
like when you had your older brother with you, and somebody was starting shit with you, and so you would just mouth off because you had your older brother with you. That's what it's like when I go in, because as soon as they're like in my ear, yeah, we got you. It's like, let's stir some shit.
Well, we got to call.
So smart other brother that like maybe knows how to fight, because they're playing engagements where like you get like a dude gets shot in the leg and we pull him off target. And we're like, we could go get in a gunfight, or that's far easier. I want to go home and get armed.
We got in a fight in Ramadi one time, and we had these two Rangers.
Where are you in Ramadi, by the way?
We were there 06 and 07.
You did, by the way.
Wait, really?
Is this true? Before you tell the story, that you were on over 400 missions?
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So we had these two Rangers that were one carried the rounds, one carried not the 84 but the Carl Gustav.
Yeah.
And the guy carrying the Goose was 6'8".
Of course.
And the guy carrying the rounds was about
bastard.
5'5".
Yeah.
And he got to the point. People don't believe there's like drainage ditches and rivers in Iraq.
Yeah.
But we got to this point where this poor kid was carrying his ruck. I don't think he had carried a gun. He just stopped jumping. He just walked through everything and just fuck life.
Fuck my life. Yeah.
And like 30 missions into it, we got into a spot where we could finally fire Goose into the damn building. And so we give he's giving HE to this kid, and he's blasting it, and give him another one, hit him again, and then we're like, okay, we're good, we can clear it. And the poor kid goes, can we just fire one more? It's like, yeah, fuck it, fire one more.
Yeah.
So we fired one more. When we got in there, it looked like a scene from like Halloween or something, just really bad inside. But we got back, and as a leader, we're giving the debrief. I told the ranger with the thing, I was like, well, why don't you debrief this so you can learn how to talk to the guys and just explain what happened on target. And he goes, all right, so we made entry, and the first 3 guys were Carl Gustav. Like, I see what you did there, and that was funny.
It's funny.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. It's like a Halloween scene. I feel like that's the Ranger School go-to is when they fucking throw 1,000 rounds on you. The first engagement in Ranger School, you're just like cyclic.
Oh,
you're
just
like,
get rid of it.
He's like, stop shooting! Fuck you, bitch!
Getting rid of
I
the
ain't
weight.
walking 12 more miles.
Getting rid of the weight.
Fucking shit. Yeah.
Did I try that Jameson stuff?
Yeah. Give it a go.
I'm not sure what that is, but just
Give it a go.
Yeah.
No driving, obviously.
Oh, God,
no
no.
driving.
No. We got Ubers.
We're going from here to a sports bar to watch a baseball game.
I don't know if you remember, and tell me, because we can cut this if not,
whatever.
if you're cool talking about it, but we've been doing this show for 3 years. Mm-hmm. I cursed out somebody you got pulled over.
No, I got woken up.
Yeah.
But there's a backstory to this.
Nobody
ever wants to talk about charges being dropped. They want to talk about arrested for DUI at first.
Correct.
I have I'm from Butte, Montana. I went to high school with all 4 of the officers. Thank you very much. I travel all the time, and so I have a system. I get to the hotel, pop an Ambien, brush my teeth, get in bed, always be in bed with the Ambien, and turn the TV off. So I popped the Ambien, forgot my toothbrush. I'm like, I can make it to the gas station. It's right over there. Drove there. It's closed. Drove to the next one. It's open. I walked in. I'm on film getting a Gatorade, and not drinking, and a toothbrush. I get back in my car, and I'm like, my dad's shitty little Nissan. And I'm like, okay, this is it. I got to go to sleep. So I went to Ambien sleep in the front seat.
No way.
And so they pulled me out. They were knocking on the door, and I recognized these guys, and I'm still Ambien up. And they said, well, we're going to take you up there. And I whatever, we did it. And I said, well, give me a breathalyzer, we'll be fine. They wouldn't or something. They wouldn't. Finally, I'm like, fuck it, just mug shot.
Yeah.
And they did. And so then it got dropped eventually. But it's like, yeah, that happened.
I remember that story. And my comment on the podcast, it was, again, years ago, was I said, who the fuck arrests the guy who kills Osama Bin Laden? I was so angry on the podcast when we were doing it. I go, you don't arrest that guy.
I went to
he gets
high
a free
school
pass
with
all
these
through
guys.
life.
So we have two high schools in Butte, Montana, Butte Central and Butte High. And there's cops from both schools. And one of my really good friends is from Butte High. I went to Butte Central. And so I called him the next day. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of fucked. What do you recommend? He goes, well, I recommend next time you get a DUI, get arrested by a guy from Butte High. I'm like, thank you.
Wow.
Just making a joke. No, I mean, it all went away. It's not,
Of course.
It wasn't a big
Well,
deal.
I was still surprised.
Boy, the headline.
Yeah,
the
but
headlines.
that's
That made
shitty
like
that they
worldwide
wouldn't
headlines.
give you a breathalyzer. That's fucking horseshit.
Well,
Shit, they wouldn't give me a ride home.
Look what Ambien did to Roseanne's career, dude.
All right.
They put it in the dumpster. She went on Rogan and talked all about it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She talked about the Ambien, and she's just a late night tweeter. I actually kind of like the girl. She's very self aware.
Oh, and on that note too, I'm the first one to tell you when I drink too. I like, even when I get asked about the Neils in the NFL, I say, look, let me get something straight. From Butte, Montana, white kid. A lot of these athletes have experiences I don't have growing up, and every time I've been in handcuffs, I fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. I'm not saying I don't drink. I'm just saying that wasn't one of the cases here.
Yeah, exactly.
Managed to make the Daily Mail and some news in New Zealand or some shit.
Exactly. I was just surprised that anybody, they just didn't wake you up and say, hey, Rob,
Well, believe
we know
me,
who you are. We're good. We're going to get you back.
I've done a lot of free training for a lot of SWAT teams, especially up in Montana, and I assure you there have been moments they could have arrested me and didn't.
Yeah.
So we're still good. I love them all.
We're even on the board.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We were at a bar the other night. Jesus. We're not going to say which one it is. That's Matt's local place.
I heard it's called Area 51.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
No, that's actually the gay bar.
I love that callback. It's called a callback in the biz, Rob.
Uh-huh.
Well, so what's your passion in life right now? Like, so I know you got the nonprofit and all that, but like, where do you, not to be a high school professor or teacher, but in 10 years, where do you see yourself going from here? What do you want?
My
to do?
passion is the foundation, and the best email I get hopefully 3 times a week, because it's an individualized program, is when Staff Sergeant so and so got a job at Merrill Lynch, and and like his wife hits me up with like, we couldn't have gotten the second career without your Grateful Nation. Thank you. That's my passion, and hopefully we've expanded in 10 years to a point where it's not just special operations, it's not just Rangers and SEALs and Green Berets, it's everybody, from everything like that. And then I just got married a little over a year ago.
Congratulations.
It's
First
been over a
marriage?
year.
Yeah,
My second marriage.
Okay.
When did you get
There
married?
it is.
What month?
I got married in August.
Oh, I'm July. So
Yeah, cool.
When did you meet her?
I met her at a speaking gig. She's
So
funny.
whoa. You had a single staunch.
I did.
Whoa, my God. How legendary was that? That had to
Well,
be
I am married now, so we can talk about this later.
Was the no?
No,
was it over under 500?
She was funny. She was funny. I met her at a speaking engagement, and the story wasn't really out yet. So I just met her there, and there was this. It was so funny. So she was hosting. Her company was hosting my speech, so she's hosting it herself. And there was a girl with me. And after my speech, I went to the beach bar. I had this other girl with me, and my wife in 3 years was there too. And she was being respectful to the girl that was following me around. She goes, "Well, how long have you and Rob been together?" And she's like, "Oh, we're not. I'm following him." And she's like, "Well, where'd you meet?" And she goes, "Twitter." And I heard my wife go, "Oh, stand the fuck by, bitch!" It's like, you're out of here.
That's a boss ass shit.
That is a boss ass
that is
move. What's it like when you go to dinner parties with people you don't know and you're introduced? Because you kind of trump everybody in the room.
It kind of sucks because generally when we go to dinner,
Yeah.
when we go to dinner, I have to eat dinner before dinner because I'm not going to get a chance. Because it's all. Hey, I don't mean to bother you, and hey, real quick, and hey, one more.
I bet
It's awesome though. I'd rather people be nice than not be nice. I ran into a Navy SEAL 2 nights ago in Miami at a thing, and he was drinking, kind of yelling at me about it. It's like, I love you, we work together, but I hate you, but I love you, but I hate you. I'm like, when are you getting out of the Navy, man? He's like, I retire at 30 in 1 week. I'm like, what are you going to do now? And he goes, I don't know. I'm like, just shut up and give me a call. We'll figure this out together. It's like,
Why would he hate you?
well, it's
Because it's the cool
well,
thing
it's,
to do.
no, it's one of those. When people ask about SEALs and how they think of me, I'm like, let me explain Navy SEALs to you. If we took 10 random SEALs, filled their driveways full of a dump truck each full of money, 5 of them would bitch at you because you blocked their driveway. So it's like you're not going to keep them all happy.
I think I know what he's talking about. With you, it's the same thing too. When we go out, there's a lot of people who are just like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Matt? I don't watch your videos or anything."
Yeah, that's the
I
first
don't-
thing they open up with.
I've never seen your movie or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're. And you're
they're,
like,
they're
wait,
tipsy in by the end of the night, and they're like, "Can we get a supper?"
because you're doing something, and same with you, Rob. You've done something that they wanted to do in their lives, where it's just like, after a few drinks, then it really comes out of like,
ego-
oh shit,
right?
you did what I wanted to do.
Well, ego promotes insecurity, right? And
That's
if you're not
exactly right.
comfortable with
Yes.
yourself, you can't be comfortable with others.
But I mean, if we all work together, we could take over the world. Like if guys,
well,
that
we
came
kind of
from-
did America.
America.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the first guy I met from Texas when I joined the Navy. I had a guy who was my roommate, Buds. I didn't know shit about shit. I'm from Montana. I met this dude, my roommate, and I said, "Hey, I'm Rob." And he goes, "Hey, I'm Wade." And I said, "Where are you from, Wade?" And he goes, "I'm from Texas." So, where are you from? I said, "I'm from Montana." And he goes, "Montana? What part of Texas is that?"
Wow, you're like,
That's good.
The one that's not there.
It's the
Definitely the
top
one, the
left part of
very
the star.
top part of it. Now you're in New York City. That seems weird, right?
It's good though because New York is. I'm in there less than half the year, but I'm up there a lot. And what I like about New York is the anonymity. There's 9 million people that don't notice each other.
You can walk outside.
In New York, nothing.
Exactly, nothing.
I mean, well, they
Yeah.
run into people all the time there, but like, I mean, it's nice. You go into a pub, the bartender notices, and he's going to buy drinks. That's just the way it is. And I've tried to be the big dick and do bottle service at some of those clubs.
Sure.
And someone notices and picks up a $2,500 tab.
Yeah.
Just shit like that. And even the local pub near my wife and I go in there quite a bit, and I have never paid for a drink there. It's like 3 years that when we're in New York, we go there. And she went there one time without me, but she had her bridal party. And she goes, "So Rob, turns out if you're not with me, they do charge."
make you pay, yeah.
I just dropped $350 so I thought I was hot shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the thing about celebrity. And like when people get divorced, like with women, not that my wife watches those shows on VH1, but she watches those shows on VH1. They always say the same thing. When you're not with the guy anymore,
It doesn't matter anymore.
no.
Yeah.
And you're invisible, and it doesn't matter if you're dating the most successful banker there is or whatever. If he's not famous or isn't the guy in his field, nobody really gives a
No one
shit.
cares.
See, I don't want to think about it in a celebrity sense. I just want to think about it in the sense of just murdering bad people and like how many bad people can you put in a ditch.
That is actually it's a
That's
lot of,
where I'm at
You
in
know
this
what's weird too, and
conversation.
Matt, you and I were talking about this before. Like when you're in the bubble, when you're in the community, and everyone else is doing it, it's normal. This is normal.
Right.
So it almost turns into a competition. Well, shit, he killed 3 guys last night. We're going to kill
Absolutely.
more. Who's got the count? And then you get on the civilian. You make a gun joke. And
I've actually probably never told a story. It's fucking hilarious though. There's helmet cam footage which I could never show. There were people casing us from a whatever. I have my NVG laser on him as he's running because they were trying to fucking ambush us, these assholes. And I'm screaming at not screaming, quietly, assertively delegating my opinion to my fucking partner, and I'm like, if they run that way, third squad's gonna fucking kill them, and we're not gonna get the kill list, dude. And they're running
because we're keeping score.
yeah,
here,
we're
man.
keeping score. I mean, the little bird came in and smoke showed him.
Oh, yeah.
I was like
That's always
thoroughly
cool, too.
pissed off that it wasn't me pulling the trigger, as if it was
Well,
some
obviously, yeah.
competition of
It is.
me versus you of who the bad guy.
No,
dies
the
is.
DoD should have a running website that
I
shows
agree.
everybody's kill count.
It's like a video game for bad people.
It would
right?
be
It
amazing.
gives somebody.
Yeah.
It also gives something to aspire.
Like
to.
that Rob O'Neill,
yeah.
man,
Yeah.
he got 50,000 points for that Bin Laden
That's
kill.
like one good shot.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I killed way more assholes on the lower level, but he's got the big one. And fuck,
They were, you know, what's funny too, though, is like, and I know there's people out there saying certain numbers. I still don't know how to confirm a kill.
No,
I don't. There's no. There's
we
no one.
used to-
There's no
in
one.
a special operations unit, it is near fucking impossible. What define kill, right? Because it's like in a building, pop shots, Ranger Squad. Like,
Yes.
how do you define that? Who got the kill? Or even a dude that pops out, you maybe put the first round, and then like your whole fucking following team runs at him and shoots him.
Exactly,
And then
yeah.
you're following one like, who defines that kill?
I stopped carrying a pistol because, you know, obviously the training was your primary goes down, go to your secondary.
Yeah.
But I realized by the time I go to my secondary, my 3 buddies already aced them.
Yeah, I'm good.
So instead of a pistol with extra weight, I'm carrying a cleaning rod.
Yeah.
My gun went down. Let me just clean this real quick.
Hey, you guys had some fun over there. Fuck, man.
No, my buddy used to tell the Army, like, before going out, like, oh, you got to bring a confirmer. Like, what's that? He's like, it's the officer that confirms all the
fuck
kills.
him. I don't need another officer out here.
But he would make young guys go search, like, asking for the confirmer. Hey, anybody know where the confirmer is?
We were even we like had to change a bunch of SOPs because like they had that Huts card, right? You mark down the people, whatever. I'm like, I need to carry a card as if. Now, did I just murder someone in that room? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I kind of remember that shit.
Yeah.
I got it.
Well, there may or may not be a severe case of something in my book that might be why it's 17 months. Possibly, allegedly, that assessing an individual on a target that was a very bad guy, and I took alternative methods of providing DNA.
It turns out a mercy kill is not a mercy kill.
Yeah,
that's what we're alleging.
We won't share the story because the book's not out, but after that, if it makes it, we will tell that story.
I don't want to ruin the surprise.
I will tell the story no matter what once the book comes out. I don't give a fuck if it's not in print. It's
got to come
it's
out.
fiction.
It's got to come out.
No, the book will come out. I'm just saying I'll tell the story of whether or not they censor it or not. But
yeah. So long term, what's your hopes and dreams now at this point?
Well, I mean, we're good. Like I said, I want to do the foundation, Your Grateful Nation. I'd love to continue speaking.
I have a feeling you're going to be doing that for a very long time.
It's cool, but the speaking thing is not. I don't get up and tell the Bin Laden story. You know, I'll get up and talk about high performance teams, why we were good, and how it applies. And like in the military, like the way that I say to a lot of these corporate sponsors and stuff to whom I speak, I'll say, you know, be good to each other, keep morale high. But like when we were working, all it was, hey, nobody wants to work for a dick. Knock it off. So just make people want to be here, and morale's high, get along with each other, love each other. Little stuff like if there's a problem we'll solve it in the team room, man to man. Don't get physical with each other. Just air it out. Don't bring it out there, and leave it at that. Keep morale high. Planning, this much planning, this much preparation, emotionless decisions, and never quit. Just keep moving forward. Like people want to hear the Bin Laden story, but they love hearing training stories. They love hearing buds. SEAL training. They love that shit. They love, as opposed to shooting a bunch of guys like we're obviously having fun doing, they want to hear about the guy that's tied up and thrown in the pool and what makes you want to be there, stuff like that. So I just talk about shit like that, and then I want to keep doing that if I can.
Which is why I would never really want to be a SEAL, because like I don't mind the water, but I don't like the water, so I'd rather just run at a door with a machine gun. That works for me, man.
Now, we've been actively trying to convince Tyler Gray, one of the actors on the CBS show, SEAL Team, to author a book as the first fake SEAL to play a SEAL on TV to have a book. Do you think this is a good idea?
That's an excellent idea.
I think it would be hilarious.
I want to write the foreword.
I know.
We need to talk him into this.
How a former Army Ranger and small mission units operator played a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
The book.
Played a Navy SEAL on TV.
Played a Navy SEAL.
The book.
The book.
And then imagine the movie about the book about the TV show.
Dude, this is a book about a book that a guy playing that was an operator.
That's a job for St. James Street, James, right there.
And no matter what it was, they all smelled amazing.
Yeah. They're wearing Navy SEAL cologne.
Navy SEAL.
Well, you heard it here. He's on the forward. If we could get Tyler to do it, he'll write the forward.
Before every mission, he's spraying on Navy SEAL cologne.
Should it be called
$74,000?
Fake SEAL?
$9,900.
That's funny.
Wet seal.
Stolen velour?
Stolen velour.
Stolen velour, the
Fake
wet seal.
The wet seal
The
story.
wet seal story, the book.
The book.
The book / the movie.
Well, listen, Rob, this is honestly, man, you made our entire year being on the show.
I appreciate having me.
You were the most requested guest ever.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
That's his words. You'll make my year if we just go tell some more stories over a good glass.
Oh,
of scotch.
you know we're doing that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look, it's civilians like me who are just. This is the happiest I've ever been in my goddamn life. Besides my kids being born, this is rad. This is awesome for me, and I'm super grateful that you came out. We usually do this thing at this point in the show called the Drinkin' Bro of the Week. However, your name has been requested so many times. It's like the Drinkin' Bro of the century, year, everything. So it's you, Rob O'Neill, and seriously, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you did.
Thanks for the invite.
You're a humble, awesome guy on and off camera. So,
and then where can people check out your organization?
YourGratefulNation.org is the foundation, but everything is underneath RobertJO'Neill.com.
Okay.
So Oneill. That last name with the 2 L's and Shaquille have really screwed that up for me.
Yeah.
But it's robertjoneal.com, and then it goes from everything from Your Grateful Nation to my speaking engagements to testimonials to like the apparel stuff that we do.
Your social media and
We're
stuff.
going to start selling this on. We got to start selling this on robertjoneal.com.
You have to. You have to.
We got to get this.
The
back in
margins
the
are
fight.
great. The margins are great.
Yeah, margin- oh.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking maybe my nomination for 2018, Brosman over here.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we've got a serious contender.
Yeah, I think
For
we
Brosman
do.
of the Year. Behind you is a lovely trophy. We give it out to the Drinking Bro of the Year.
Brosman of
The Brosman trophy is sitting over there.
love
It's
that.
resting
That's
over there.
so cool.
It's like a Heisman. Bring
It's
it
like
up
a
on
Heisman,
the,
but cooler.
Bring it on up here, Jared.
Wow.
It's heavy. It's got some weight to
It's
it.
got some. All right,
So
that's awesome.
The statue
it has
of
breadth.
The first Brosman winner, which was Jimmy Long, who streaked the Army Navy game carrying a Drinkin' Bros
Oh
flag.
yes, well deserved, sir.
Spent the night in jail. We bailed him out.
Spent a few nights in jail.
That'll do it.
So yeah, your name could be engraved on that
hope
by
so.
the end of the year.
Strive
and also,
for something.
If you see Rob out in a bar, make sure he's not buying his drinks.
Nah,
'Cause
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
come on.
American.
I am
Come
quick with the
on.
credit card though. I love buying the rounds.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love doing that.
We're going out to dinner tonight,
Do
so looks like everything's on Rob. Let's get out of here. For Rob O'Neill, Jared Taylor, Matt Best, I'm Ross Patterson. Good night, everyone. Get in my